50 BB deep spot hijack versus big blind. I do think Triple E is the mark on the table here, but I do not know how he plays, so I am just going by these preflop GTO ranges from GTO Wizard. Given the big blind's very wide range and the hijack's much tighter range, we can see an almost range bet for this sizing. The big blind has a pure call here, but we can see that raising is only a $3 difference in EV here, and that is minuscule on 40 KNL. We see that all aces below ace 10 are pure checks now that the jack hit. Just not enough value in betting there. And for 75% sizing, the EV difference is significant. So Triple E chose to min block here. And even though the solver definitely chooses the min block with hands like straights or even king queen, balanced of course by some full houses like ace 10 and jack 10, queen 10 definitely falls short here and is checking pure. If we look at the EVs, however, it is not that far off, as the EV difference is only $43.9 or roughly 1/10 of a big blind. But it's still a clear check. It very much becomes clear why it doesn't make the cut when taking a look at the hijack strategy against a big blind check. We see many combos better than queen 10 checking back here, so we'd be value towning ourselves against those. The hijack now goes for the value raise with all ace X obviously. And the 10x sizing does seem good, as the solver goes with it as well. What is important to see here is that his bluffing range comes primarily from any two cards under a 10. So his 10x combos do not bluff raise. This is important information that we'll get back to later when we analyze the big blind's call to this raise. The reason the hijack does not bluff with any 10x combos is because if we go back to the big blind strategy for bluffing on this river, we see that he should really pull all his bluffs from his 10x combos, as king x combos just have too much showdown value, and he just folded all his underpairs and undercards on the flop. Now it's very important for the hijack to not block all these bluffs, too much at least. That's why he is not bluff raising any 10x combos. Because with all these underpairs and undercards the hijack does still have in his range, he's not as severely blocking the big blind's bluffs as these few 10x combos would do. So now we get to it. While the min block was a slight mistake by Triple E, if we take a close look at the solve output for this strategy to this big raise, we see that the queen 10 combo should be mostly calling when they bet. While we see all these jack x combos folding, almost all of them. Jack 10s are also mostly calling though. So with queen 10 and jack 10 calling, the 10 blocker indeed seems very important. And this has to do with this back and forth blocker logic we were dealing with earlier. It arrives here. The big blind's min block contains a lot of 10x bluffs, so the hijack's bluff raises want to unblock those for maximum fold equity, and in turn the big blind likes to bluff catch the hijack's raise with combos containing a 10, as these unblock the most of hijack's bluff raises. I have no idea about Triple E. His min block was too light, but he made a very solid call. We don't know if he would have folded all these jack x combos though, because if he doesn't, the hijack should never bluff raise and Triple E would be heavily exploitable.